But you can see that his shadows there are much darker than her skin because it's just so light. So in this case, what we could do is go up here to Image Adjustments, Shadow Highlight, and I can play around with this a little bit. Now, of course, we don't want this applied to his entire face, but if you look very closely at the edge, you can see how much more that blends in. Look, this is before, and this is after. So what we can do is go into Quick Mask and just mask that side of his face. So let's go over here and click on this button right here. If you're not using Photoshop CS3, you're going to see two buttons on the bottom of the toolbar. So you'll want to click on the one on the right, and that will go into Quick Mask mode. And you should see it should look like a little red icon. And then you can select the paintbrush with the foreground as black. And what we can do is paint this red mask along the edge of his face right here, because we want to enhance that shadow. And then I'll go back to standard mode. So what you want to do is click on, if you're not using Photoshop CS3, click on the left button down on the bottom of the toolbar, and that will go back to standard mode. In CS3, we only have one button, which is kind of cool. So all you have to do is re-click that one button, and now you should see a selection around that. And I'll come up here to select inverse, and you can see that we've softly selected this side of his face here. So what we can do now is come over here to Image Adjustments and down here to Shadow Highlight. And if you don't want that selection there while you are adjusting the image with an image adjustment, you can turn that off by coming up here to View, and see right here where it says Extras. Just select that, and that will make that selection go away. Now it's still there, it's just you can't see it. But you can see this is what it was before. And now that we've masked that edge there, this will enable us to enhance that edge just a little bit more, making it blend in with the woman's skin tone in the back. Look at that. Cool, this is before and this is after. I'm looking at the bottom here to see how that turned out. And so you can use these techniques on almost any image that you have, any type of image where you're swapping out faces or whatever. And so you can see it works fairly well. I'll click on this layer mask here and select my brush tool, and I can just come in here and touch up anything if I need to. It's a very touchy area there. I could probably spend a little bit more time and get that to be more perfect if I really wanted to. I really want to show you just the difference there. I notice his skin has a lot more texture to it. So we could add some noise on her skin back here to make that blend in a little better. Let's come down to his neck here, and we want to have some type of shadow down here, but I'm not particularly liking this shadow that we have here. I'll select the brush tool and click on this layer mask and see if there is another way. Okay, we still have that selection on, but I totally forgot about that. But if you go up here to Extras, you can see that that selection up here is still on, and it's not allowing us to touch up down here. So don't forget to turn that off. Select, deselect, and then now it'll allow me to go in here like this and add in that shadow. So I'm actually glad I made that mistake, because then hopefully you'll remember to turn that off, because it's very easy to forget. Okay, there we go. So we have some type of shadow for his big chin here that's sticking out, and that looks pretty good. I can even see that we could probably touch up the skin tone just a touch. sometimes you get so close it's hard to really see what it needs. If it needs less magenta, if it needs more cyan.